Good morning, everybody. It's Bob Kenny again with Draper and Kramer Mortgage. Hope you're doing fantastic. Great day today. It's Masters Week. If you're into golf, you know what I'm talking about. I'll give you a quick update on the market, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about credit and how it affects your interest rates. Um, Yesterday we talked about the Fed chair or Fed President Brainerd. She had mentioned that they're going to stop the pace of which they're buying mortgage-backed securities and treasuries. As you know, as you may have known if you watch these videos, that's what the government's been doing. It's kind of helped prop interest rates, keep them low and keep borrowing costs down. It was kind of an idea to spur the economy. Now with the advent of inflation, I think some of the readings I expect tomorrow when the readings come out is inflation up to 8.4%, which is ridiculous. The Fed doesn't like anything over 2%. So yeah, they dropped the ball and now they got to recover from it. So it's kind of silly. As you can see in trading here, that mortgage-backed securities, after a big drop yesterday, they rebounded nicely to kind of end up where the previous day ended. Today, we're up a little bit just because the Fed minutes that were disclosed yesterday didn't really show anything that we didn't know already. No big market movers today. Tomorrow may be a different story, though. So anyways, one thing that can affect your interest rates more than anything is your credit score. Now, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, they're the government GSEs, the government-sponsored enterprises that underwrite all the loans. Basically, anything under roughly $650,000 is considered conventional, and anything above that is a jumbo loan. Jumbo loans have a little different set of guidelines. They're not sold on the secondary market, so lenders can do a few different things on jumbo loans that they couldn't do with conventional. But anyways, so conventional credit scores, 640 is kind of a minimum. It's kind of like a bowling score. So you want it as high as possible. The maximum credit score you probably see is around 850. I think the most I've ever seen is probably 835, and that's a couple that's been around for a long time, a lot of established credit, and not a whole lot of debt. So what goes into a credit score? First thing, obviously, is your past history. How have you paid your past credit obligations? That has a significant impact. 35% of your credit score is predicated on how you paid in the past. Lenders want to know if they're going to get their money back. Then another component is your debt utilization. How much of your available credit are you using? So, in other words, if you have a $5,000 credit limit on your credit card and your balance is $4,500 or $5,000, your credit score is going to be lower than someone who has a credit limit of $5,000 but a $200 balance. So that is, in addition to not paying any interest that you don't need to pay, that's another good reason to keep your credit cards paid off, or at least pay them off monthly. No need to pay any more interest and pay the banks any more than they're already getting. So your 640 credit scores, and the pricing goes up in increments of 20, what do you call it? It's 640 to 660, 660 to 680. So every 20 point increase in your credit score, your pricing gets better. So in other words, if you have a 640 score, your rates being offered that day for the best credit people, it's anything 740 to 760 and above. Let's say the 760 is getting offered 5%. That's about where rates are lately. 640 might actually get, closer to 5.5, and they might have to pay some points. And, long-term borrowing, that affects your long-term borrowing costs. And you really need to be cognizant of where your credit scores are. Now, if you subscribe to a credit scoring thing with your credit card, just bear in mind that their algorithms aren't the same as a mortgage credit report, and they could affect, they can't affect, but they may not be as accurate as something that I might pull when I pull your credit report. So it's good to have an idea of what your credit scores are so you can know what's going into it. Now, what do you do if you have credit issues? Call me, an expert, and we can go over it and give you some ideas of how to lower your credit, or not lower, but how to get your credit scores up and get the better pricing. We do have some opportunities where we can provide information to credit bureaus that would allow them to correct your credit reports in less than 30 days. That's important, especially in the case if you are trying to close fairly quickly. There are a lot of different options that we can provide to you. You don't necessarily have to pay a credit repair company. To do that, just call me, someone that's been doing it and is an expert in credit. Happy to help. It's one of the services we provide to our clients in order to get them the best rates available to them. Credit scoring is, like I said, it's kind of tricky. And if you don't want to deal with it on your own, writing letters and all that kind of stuff to credit bureaus, give me a call. I'd be happy to work out with you. So anyways, keep your credit scores high, keep your credit card debt low. There's a few other tricks. If you are interested in learning, let me know. One good thing, by the way, that is in effect these days is medical collections are not going to be on your credit report anymore. They cannot be put on your credit at least for a year before or after there's a lot more restrictions on medical collections. So call me if you have any medical collections in your credit reports. You may be able to get those off and raise your score. So anyways, call me. I'd love to help you. My name is Bob Kenny with Draper and Kramer Mortgage Company. Been a mortgage professional for over 25 years. My phone number is 630-376-0538. NMLS number 198253. Thanks again for watching. And as always, have a great day.